So, Young Justice hiatus is over, and this episode was called Satisfaction. It dealt heavily with the Green Arrow family and Roy Harper, or the original Roy Harper, dealing with coming back into the world. So this episode, original Roy became Arsenal, which is something that did happen in comic canon, and something that the fandom did call the second we seen he didn't have an arm. I never have approved of superheroes that primarily use guns to achieve the greater good. Not because I don't approve of guns. I'm from the South, it's kind of normal, but because it kind of breaks the status quo of what superheroes have been built up to be and what we are to expect from a hero and how they're supposed to act. And not saying that breaking the status quo is bad, but it's just not something that it's just using a gun from a hero is just not something I'm not gonna like. But it's an interesting storyline that I'm willing to watch and enjoy and see where it goes, especially from the fight scene that we've seen this episode, and the way he dealt with it. And I think he did way too well for only having one arm, and only having one arm for a matter of hours, or realizing he only had one arm for a matter of hours. So I'm excited to see where that goes. And so the scene with Ollie in the chapel talking to Roy about him being a neon sign of saying "Go away, danger," that was really heartbreaking. And his sidekicks being just one giant beacon of just stay away, bad, bad, bad. That was really heartbreaking, and it wasn't a scene that I expected to see in the show, but I'm very glad they put in because it was great. We also learned that Jason Todd is canon in the Young Justice universe, which is awesome, and it's something that I've actually been wanting to figure out, because I didn't know if they just skipped over Jason and went straight to Tim like a lot of cartoons involving the Bat family do, or he's already dead, which is great. It's bad that he's dead, but I'm glad that he's even a part of it. And the fact that Tim was mourning him when they were all down there with the salute to the dead, that was a really nice touch. And I really would like to see more of Jason in flashback form, or possibly as the Red Hood. And I would not mind a Jason Todd flashback. That's a flashback I wouldn't mind. And that'd be really interesting, and I'd like to see where they go with that. They also had, when they were, as the newer team was mourning Artemis, they had that scene with Bart just eating potato chips, so nonchalantly. I mean, he's not even just pretending to mourn. I have a feeling, that he knows she's not really dead. Because, he's from the future, and it's probably a move they did anyway. So I think he knows she's not dead. But he could at least be respectful about it, And then the fight about stealing the potato chips between him and Jaime, I feel was completely unnecessary. But, yes, emotions were high, but they could have had a fight about anything else at that point, just not potato chips. But the conversation that followed about Blue Beetle and taking up his mantle and mentors and him not having a mentor, that was a really interesting conversation. And, Bart, knowing lots of things about things, him and Jaime went off to have a conversation. And I'd like to think that they're going to become good friends, and that'd be cool to see. So Captain Cold attacked a superhero bachelorette party, or the bank next to one, which was smart. He got his ass kicked. What do you expect, Captain Cold? Also, we have a new ship, Wendy and Superboy. It's a ship that I'm okay with. It's not something that I'm going to actively ship, because I like Super Martian. It was also Superboy's birthday, and he's turning 22 and doesn't look a day over 17, and people are starting to notice. So that's an interesting thing. So we also had the scene with Artemis's mother, and I remember saying this before, when Artemis died that her faking death is absolutely sick. And having her mother at her grave crying and saying that it was the worst 2 days of her life, that she could live through Jade and her husband and all this other crap, but Artemis dying was the last straw. It's so sick. And her daughter, she's alive, and she doesn't know. I feel that they should have at least told her mom. And, you know, they have her mom crying by her grave. They have Jade angry. Well, they shouldn't have told Jade, but they should not. But, like, Jade over here wanting revenge. And then the Sportsmaster being the absolutely worst human being you could possibly be. Oh my god. But the storyline itself with Artemis, yes, it's interesting. But I don't approve of the consequences leading up to it. So, like this video, subscribe above, possibly in the corner. Love you guys, bye.